So here we're putting front springs on a 96. This one's already on. And when you take it apart, you can take these nuts off, but do not pull those bolts out. Leave those bolts in until you get your spring compressed, all right? If you don't, you're gonna catch this in the face, probably kill you. So the book shows this top piece going out, and then the bottom piece goes around and behind. And if you're having trouble, you could put weight on this wheel, put a tranny jack under here, whatever, jack this up, and that would compress the spring a little bit more and give me room to get it out. This one I'm not gonna have any trouble because you gotta take your nose piece off first, and it just unscrews and falls in there. So if it doesn't come off, good luck. All right, mine's actually, there you go, yep, that's right. So I'm just gonna have to improvise. But once you get the spring compressed, then I can go ahead and pull these bolts out. So that'll be the next step. All right, I've got it compressed down. I could still go a little more if need be, but I've got the bolts out now, pulled the bolts on the upper ball joint, took that loose. Then you can take this piece out, and you can see it fell out. And I've got obviously a little problem here. So I've got some rusting going on we're gonna have to tend to. So my little cone fell out on its own. I think I got a greasy lens. Let me look. Anyway, there we go. So now I've got it out, I can compress the new one, and I'm going to use a spring compressor here. So I'll use this bad boy. Saab actually shows you can take a long piece of ready rod with some washers that are bigger around than your spring and a nut, and you compress that down because you've got to compress the spring in order to get your tool in place. All right, so you do have to do that. Saab shows it in this book here. You can see here they show the tool. That top piece should face out. That seems to work better. That gives you a little more clearance. And then there's what Saab's showing you make to compress the spring. And obviously you could make that with some ready rod real easy. And the only thing to be careful of when you go back in is there's the flat part goes to the top. So the part of the spring that's cut flat goes to the top. And then this notch here at the bottom, it's actually you gotta be sure you compress it right. So it's gonna come all the way and fit in here. So this goes in like this, and that spring's gonna bottom out right here. First one I did on the other side, I didn't get the spring index properly, and that big open end of the spring was right there. So I had to, loosen the spring up, or the retainer up, spring compressor, rotate it a little, tighten it up, rotate it a little. Took about 5 times to get it lined up. So anyway, that's about all you got to do. It's pretty simple. They are showing you pull this guy off to use said to reach in with pliers and unscrew this. Well, obviously they're all going to be rusted. This one obviously is rusted beyond, so I need to put a new horn in here. So anyway, that'll give me something to do later, right? This is Tom from Fort Dodge. Hopefully you can get your car jacked up. This had about not quite 24 inches tall when I was started. I'll put that measurement, how it sat when I'm done. So let me see how much it raised. One thing to keep in mind as you compress the spring is try not to get this spring kicking too far one way or the other. So as you take it off, go a little bit, go a little bit, go a little bit, go a little bit. Don't get uneven, or you could end up catching one in the puss. So now I'm getting this one compressed, and you can see it's kind of getting crooked on me. So I'm gonna have to raise up the side and get that level. I'll have to release pressure. It's a little bit off down there. So that's what you want to be careful of when you compress it. That's where making a piece of ready rod that goes all the way through would probably be a pretty good idea. But I'll get it compressed. Once it's compressed, I'll be able to put the tool on, get that on there, and then I can shove her back in the hole. And I've got my big part down there. and the flat part's to the top. The flat cut spring is up to the top, and you want that probably indexed into about the 11 o'clock position, 10:30, 11 as you're looking from above.